The story of Kashmir is a tale etched in pain, a narrative of broken promises and unfulfilled dreams. It begins in 1947, the year India gained its independence from British rule. As the subcontinent fractured along religious lines, the future of the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir hung precariously in the balance. This mountainous region, with its stunning beauty and diverse population, became a point of contention between the newly formed nations of India and Pakistan. The ruler of Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, was a Hindu monarch presiding over a predominantly Muslim population. He initially hesitated, hoping to preserve Kashmir's independence. However, as tensions escalated and with Pakistan-backed tribesmen advancing into the region, the Maharaja faced a critical decision. He chose to accede to India, signing the Instrument of Accession in October 1947. This decision, made under duress, ignited a firestorm of controversy that continues to rage to this day. The accession was conditional based on the promise of a plebiscite, a referendum allowing the Kashmiri people to determine their own destiny. This promise, enshrined in UN resolutions, remains unfulfilled, a testament to the complexities of the Kashmir crisis and the enduring legacy of partition. The accession, instead of ushering in an era of peace and prosperity, marked the beginning of a long and bloody conflict. The Kashmir dispute, rooted in the events of 1947, continues to cast a long shadow over the region, a constant reminder of the human cost of unresolved political disputes. In the aftermath of the 1947 partition and the First War over Kashmir, the international community, through the nascent United Nations, stepped in to mediate the crisis. The UN Security Council, recognizing the volatile situation and the need for a peaceful resolution, passed a series of resolutions, starting with Resolution 47 in 1948. These resolutions called for a ceasefire, the demilitarization of the region, and most importantly, a plebiscite to allow the people of Kashmir to exercise their right to self-determination. The plebiscite, seen as the most democratic and just solution to the dispute, was intended to provide the Kashmiri people a voice in shaping their future. It was a beacon of hope, a promise of a brighter future where the people of Kashmir could freely choose their own destiny. However, this promise, enshrined in international law, remains unfulfilled. Over the decades, the UN has played a significant role in monitoring the ceasefire line and attempting to facilitate dialogue between India and Pakistan. However, despite numerous resolutions and diplomatic efforts, the plebiscite has never been held. India, citing the accession of the Maharaja and subsequent elections in the state, maintains that Kashmir is an integral part of its territory. Pakistan, on the other hand, insists on the implementation of the UN resolutions and the right of the Kashmiri people to self-determination. The unfulfilled promise of a plebiscite remains a source of deep resentment and frustration for many Kashmiris. It is a constant reminder of the international community's failure to find a lasting solution to the conflict and ensure the fundamental rights of the Kashmiri people. The call for a plebiscite, a symbol of hope and self-determination, continues to reverberate in the valley, a testament to the enduring struggle for justice and freedom in Kashmir. For decades, Jammu and Kashmir existed within the Indian Union with a unique status. This special status was enshrined in Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, granting the region a degree of autonomy and self-governance. This article, a cornerstone of the agreement between the Indian government and the Kashmiri leadership at the time of accession, allowed the state to have its own constitution, flag, and the right to formulate its own laws on all matters except defense, foreign affairs, and communications. However, on August 5, 2019, the Indian government took the unprecedented step of revoking Article 370, effectively stripping Jammu and Kashmir of its special status and dividing it into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. This move, enacted unilaterally and without consultation with the Kashmiri leadership or the people, sent shockwaves through the region and beyond. The revocation of Article 370 was met with widespread condemnation from human rights organizations, international observers and, most importantly, the people of Kashmir. Critics viewed it as an attempt to alter the demographics of the region and tighten India's grip on Kashmir. The move was followed by a massive security crackdown, with thousands of additional troops deployed to the region. The internet was cut off, phone lines were jammed, and a strict curfew was imposed, effectively placing millions under house arrest. Political leaders, activists, and even ordinary citizens were detained without charge, their voices silenced under the heavy hand of the state. The revocation of Article 370 marked a turning point in the Kashmir conflict, further deepening the sense of alienation and resentment among the Kashmiri people. Kashmir, once a paradise on earth, is today one of the most militarized zones in the world. The Indian government's response to the ongoing conflict has been one of heavy-handed military intervention, resulting in a massive security presence across the region. Hundreds of thousands of Indian Army soldiers, paramilitary forces, and police personnel are deployed across cities, towns, and villages, their presence a constant reminder of the volatile situation. The presence of such a massive security apparatus has had a profound impact on the daily lives of the Kashmiri people. Checkpoints are ubiquitous, restricting movement and disrupting daily routines. The fear of arbitrary detention, harassment, and violence at the hands of security forces is pervasive, casting a long shadow over the lives of ordinary Kashmiris. Human rights organizations have documented a litany of abuses committed by security forces in Kashmir, including extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, torture, and arbitrary detentions. Laws like the Armed Forces Special Powers Act and the Public Safety Act give security forces sweeping powers, including the authority to arrest and detain individuals without trial and to use lethal force with virtual impunity. These laws, often used to silence dissent and target individuals arbitrarily, have created a climate of fear and impunity where security forces operate with little accountability for their actions. The militarization of Kashmir and the human rights abuses committed under its shadow have had a devastating impact on the Kashmiri psyche, leaving deep scars on the social fabric of the region. The human cost of the Kashmir conflict is immeasurable. For decades, the people of Kashmir have lived with the daily reality of violence, fear, and uncertainty. The cycle of violence has claimed the lives of tens of thousands of people, including civilians, militants, and security personnel. Each life lost represents a tragedy, a stark reminder of the human toll of this protracted conflict. Adding to the anguish are the thousands of cases of enforced disappearances. These are not just statistics, they are fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters who vanished without a trace, leaving behind families shattered by grief and uncertainty. Human rights groups estimate that thousands of Kashmiris have disappeared since the late 1980s, their whereabouts unknown, their fates uncertain. The families of the disappeared live in a perpetual state of limbo, clinging to hope while grappling with the agonizing possibility that their loved ones may be gone forever. They are denied the right to mourn, to bury their dead, and to find closure. The issue of disappearances is a deeply painful and unresolved chapter in the Kashmir conflict, a testament to the enduring legacy of violence and impunity. The psychological toll of living in a conflict zone is profound. Generations of Kashmiris have grown up amidst violence and militarization, their childhoods marred by trauma and loss. The constant fear, the restrictions on movement, and the lack of economic opportunities have created a sense of hopelessness and despair, particularly among the youth. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos.